Ah, well. Hi. Am I out of focus? I think we're good. Alrighty. All right. E. So we should have like 15 minutes, I think. Just watch some games. Oh, I see. I took you outside and fed you 3 hours ago. I'm getting the dog stare. Go outside. A 5-stream streak. Congratulations. Your reward will be arriving in the mail between 3 to 5 business days. I had a viewer, I don't remember if it was Boom or somebody else. I had like 140 stream streak. That's like absolutely ridiculous. Especially because I'm probably not the easiest person to have a stream streak for, just because I stream at random times, on random days. Well, not random, but you know, if there's something interesting happening. But I suppose I should let this corgi out, shouldn't I? So I will be right back. Uh-huh. Shalom! Oh. Are you guys filled with whimsy and wonder? All right, so, here to the south of the map, in the red as the Eastern European architecture set farming civ, it will be the Slavs. And to the north, in the blue, as the Eastern European architecture set farming civ, it will be the Poles. To be fair, Poles and Slavs do feel quite different. Poles are more about efficiency as opposed to just heavy, powerful units. Far more about, lighter cavalry than heavy cavalry. Oh, this is a good attack here from Yao. Embracing another person's tent. Wow! Do we need yet another reason to love Mari Mari? I don't think we do. I think it's just an amazing voice line. Well, lots of farms here for Mr. Yo. We have the own farming infrastructure coming in for Repard. That said, Pole eco is better than Slav eco. Got forging coming in here. Got full upgrades on those scooter bugs for Yo. Great KD for him. I mean, really seems like he should be cruising his way to victory here. Scout Archer's a little bit better than Skirmisher Spearmen. More poking. Honestly, that was a little bit from Yo. Felt like he could have microed that better. Looked like lazy micros what it did. Holy Worker Day? Oh yeah, it's May Day. Our Labor Day is in September. Because we can't have anything associated with socialism in this country. Anyway, Castle Age on the way here for Yo. Repard's not super close to clicking up. A certain Pembroke Welsh Corgi is barking at me and will likely be entering my room in a moment with a stick demanding playtime. Dang, I'm smart. I'm such a smart caster, guys. Day off on Monday? Makes sense. Well, I mean, it makes sense if it falls on like a Friday or a Monday, but you'd think it would make the most sense just to take a long weekend on the week of May 1st. Is a bank holiday. Well, I guess you can bank on that. And there you go, Mr. Yo. A back injury? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Oh, now is there going to be a draft? I have no idea how this thing's going to work, but I'm just looking forward to it because it's a team game show match. Arabia, Arena, Black Forest, Enemy, Archipelago, and Nomad are solid maps. Upside, that's true, I guess. Don't see a draft yet. Mr. Dog! There is stick. How goes my search for a job? What search for a job? Oh, jeez. Go. That a roof? I guess I'm just stuck here, guys. Stuck here forever. Now we're gonna take a breather until we get the energy to run and get. Draft. Nope. Don't see one. No idea who's playing for Onimaru, by the way. They have, what, 11 players? I mean, I guess, would be the best 3 Onimaru players to try and take on Vitality? Probably Viper, Finch, and Tato. Like, overall skill level? But I don't know if that is what would be best in terms of coordination. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. But yeah, it's gonna be 3v. Vitality can't play in a 4v4, they only have 3 players. Habit speed for hours, yeah. Well, maybe I am a madman. Right now, he just wants pets. Version of Viral, oh jeez. Man, honestly, those comments in Viper's video. Oh, broadcaster. Danielle is the one hosting the show match. I don't know if anyone else is casting it. Like I said, I don't see a Civ draft at the moment. Maybe they're just doing hidden pick no reason. I was trying to yell into my mic. Could you guys hear anything I was saying? Because I was just like a foot back because a certain corgi is being demanding. Distance? Well, I was. And Yellowhead and Viper? Yeah. What did I say? Yeah. What I say about Daniela and Viper, that they both suck. Oops. No, someone else, who else was casting the show match, and I said Daniela's the one hosting it, and I don't know about anyone else. And I was saying that the Viper video comments were rough, man. All right, so Hart and Andy. Well, I mean, obviously Hart's playing. But like I said, I didn't know who's playing. Oh, okay, Doubt, freaking Andy, and Lewis. Okay, there we go. That's who's playing. But yeah, I don't know if there's a Civ draft or if it's just hidden pick no repeat or what. Wait, it's Doubt, Andy, and who? Oh, Lewis. Do you put Lewis on flank or pocket? Andy's almost certainly playing flank. I don't know who you want on pocket between Doubt and Lewis. It should probably just be Hart and Leary on flank and Hera in pocket, if I had to guess. But honestly, looking forward to this a lot. I absolutely adore team games. All right, Hera's in the lobby as well. Corgis are only a little bit demanding. But yeah, I definitely don't see a draft, so my guess would have to be that it's just hidden pick, no repeat. Which is a little surprising because you can totally do a draft for team games now. It used to be a lot harder because there just weren't enough civs. But for 3v3, are you able to do a full best of 7? You need to, yeah, you absolutely can. You need 42 civs for that, right? We have 53. So you could literally do 5 bans each, and then do a civ draft, and then have 1 civ left over for a 3v3 best of 7. That's crazy, man. An LTR marathon? Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's fun. I hope she enjoyed it. I just assume you enjoyed it, you know. Just a guess. All right, so we have Lewis, Hart, Leary, Hera, and Andy. So we are only missing 1 person. Pitch hat, I mean, it's a marathon for sure. Anymore? Yeah. Living that parent life. Only the Lord is missing. Yeah, format just says 3v3 play all 5. It doesn't show us anything else. Enable hover? Up. Bonuses. I don't know. I mean, the Bohemian Tech Tree and bonuses are not really suited towards anything other than closed maps. My thing with Bohemians, which I don't think people really understood in the comments on Viper's video, is that of course you'll have some civs that are better on maps than others, but it's more in a matter of extremes, where it's like you have Bohemians who are so oppressive on closed maps and so underwhelming almost everywhere else. I mean, they're still decent enough on Nomad, but, like, it just feels like it's too far in that direction. So happy. A baseline unit? Swordsmen still are in a bit of a awkward spot, although they are honestly so much better than they used to be. And then Onagers. I think basically every other baseline unit sees plenty of play. Buff infantry, it's hard, right? If buffing infantry were simple, then it would have happened by now. Arranged meta, yeah, something that I expressed my concern about is that with patrol stacking, melee units should be, like, way more oppressive. And yet, even with you're literally being able to stack a ton of melee units on top of each other, we're still in a situation where you just get microed down by archers, or cav archers, or skirmishers. So, you know, Viper says fix the pathfinding, and I mean, of course, I just don't know how they would even address that. All right, doubts in the lobby. What? What, little dog? I know. I absolutely love team games. Always have. And the rollover, Could he be more needy? Onimaru Team Game Tuesday? What's that? Are they just streaming their training for the tournament? For fun? I mean, yeah, if there isn't anything else going on, sure. Anyway, again, no idea what the settings are going to be, unless they started a draft when I wasn't looking. Nope, still have no draft. If we're just then doing hidden pick, no repeat, okay, that's fine. So for Arabia, I mean, you do have options. Like, there's gonna be, obviously, like, some S-tier civs. There's almost certainly going to be Ethiopians. Just because they are basically made for being an Arabia flank civ. Beyond that, I mean, it's Mayans, Britons, Shu. Yeah, like, compositionally, there's going to be very little variety, but there are different civs that you can go for. But yeah, it's like almost, I guess probably Ethiopians, and then Mayans, Britons, Shu, Vietnamese. I think you know, pick two of those, what, 5 or 6 civs I said? I don't think I missed anybody. That would be like an obvious pick. And then for Pocket, Wei, Franks. I don't love the camel civs as much on 3v3 open maps because you're really vulnerable to archers. Like, you have 2 flanks going archers and only 1 pocket going cavalry. So you're still, it's still a really tough situation to try and take good engagements. So I don't think Hindustanis or Gurjaras. But yeah, like Wei Franks, probably. Magyars, oh yeah, duh, Magyars. Yeah, Wei Franks, Magyars. I don't know if we'd see anything else. Just thinking. I mean, you could still see something like a Huns, for sure. The traditional picks. Persians as well. But I feel like you'd probably want Persians on another map. No, Haeguang actually have low pierce armor for Wei. They max out at 5 pierce armor, which is very low. They just have 10 melee armor. into Tiger. Yeah. I mean, no, Hegwang worked very well in Castle Age. I'm still not 100% sure about how they perform in Imperial Age, but we just haven't had a whole lot of team game data, especially 3v3s. Like, we have a lot of Rage Forest, right? We have a lot of Rage Forest, but any other team game setting is very underplayed. At least at high levels, right? Where we would get a better idea of how the balance actually is. Or, like, what's optimal, I guess. Fast early? Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Is the Corgi on a diet? A diet of human food, basically. But he's a good weight. Corgis are very tanky dogs. Oh, awesome. Oh, yeah, there's another civ I forgot about. Reply. I mean, I've seen a lot of comments, and honestly, like, they sting, man. You know, you gotta have thick skin as any sort of content creator, but oof. I am still a human. Alright, let me set up the scoreboard. I know I might seem cyborgish at times, but no. Indeed, the loaf has taken his place. All right. Actually, 2P and Muiska both would be very good on flank. But yeah, no, this is all gonna, I think, be very interesting, guys. Big map. 3v3s are pretty large relative to the map size, or like number of players to number of tiles on the map, so to say. Anyway, do we have all unique? No, we both have Mayans. Okay. I was thinking maybe double Ethiopians is double Mayans instead. Mayans would be my second guess there, but that's all good. Ethiopians here. Ethiopians on the flank here for Hart. 2P on the flank here for Andy. I was just introducing teams. It's been a while since I've done this, man. All right, guys, here for Team Vitality. We'll have the only 3 Vitality players. Hart in the blue as the Ethiopians on the flank, Era as the Green Franks in the pocket, and Leary as the Cyan Mayans on the north flank. Their opponents will be Team Onimaru, definitely the team best equipped to challenge Team Vitality for, like, the best team game team. Them and the Chinese team. Still, we'll have Lewis here in the red as the Mayans on the north flank, Doubt as the yellow Magyars in the pocket, and Andy in the purple as the 2P on the south flank. So I was wondering whether or not Doubt would go flank or pocket with Lewis, but it seems like leave the Archer micro to the kids. Not that Andy's a kid, but, you know, let the old man play his scouts in comfort. Yeah, but it's always Mayans to me. Onimaru A? Like I was saying, I don't know who the best Onimaru team would be right now. I feel like it definitely would involve Viper and Tato. Who would be their third? Would it be Jordan for the synergy? Or Vinchester because I think Vinchester is just, you know, overall a better player? But again, I'm not too sure. Anyway, everyone's going to be on the way up to Feudal Age. So like I said, there's actually quite a bit of civ diversity, even though there's not going to be a lot of strategic diversity or tactical diversity. But when you're looking at a 3v3, it's really, really tough, right? 3v3s are the hardest mode to play, arguably with 1v1s, because there's only one pocket for 2 flanks. So in a 4v4, you could argue that the flanks are the most important because the flanks are the ones who need to just, like, not die or die slowly. Whereas in the 3v3, the pocket's the most important position because they're the ones who have to split their time between both flanks. At least that's how I generally look at it. I mean, you could argue either one, I think, for 4v4, but I think that the Rage 4 stuff is any indications that how highly important it is to have that very strong player on flank. Is Andy going to go for the... Yeah, okay, so Andy's going to go for some Blackwood Archer chicanery, I think. I don't know how he's going to have the resources for it. I don't know the sling settings either. Always very important to consider in a team game setting. But as it stands, Frank's Magyars, two of the very, very best. Like I said, those two and Wei are probably going to be by far the most common civs we see. Pocket Arabia, just two of the best scout into night civs. There was a time when it was a lot more Castle Age heavy, where Franks, I think, would just be better than Magyars. But nowadays, we're going to spend a lot of time in the Feudal Age here on these open maps. So just getting that huge number of scouts out is very important. So Magyars, I think, just as good, if not maybe even slightly better than Franks, depending on the situation. I mean, Franks are still going to be better as the game goes on, better eco, better paladins and all that, but Magyars really do have that good aggressive potential. Mayans on both sides, I mean, it's Mayans, guys. They are the best flank civ, or one of the best flank civs. Always have been, always will be. They do archers and aggression very, very well. So it is a Maya mirror here to the north between Lewis and Leary. And the Ethiopians, I think, right up there with Mayans. They are very aggressive. They don't have the sustainability that Mayans do, in that you just get that really cheap archer blob over time. That said, in terms of raw archer power as a supporting unit, there is no better archer bonus than the Ethiopian bonus. Because most of the other archer bonuses improve their tankiness, whereas the Ethiopian archers bonus improves their lethality, which is what you want, again, if you have a meat shield in front of you. So that's why Ethiopians always going to be one of those top picks here on the flank. And nice snipe there, as Hera is here, and they're going to be going after Andy super hard. He is going for the fast castle, but he's nowhere near a castle itself, and generally speaking, this is very, very bad. You don't want to be going for fast castle on flank. But he's just going to try and go for those Blackwoods, as apparently they are just that good, which isn't unfair to say. But yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping that he'd just play archers into Blackwoods later on and just use like those discounts, like go for an early chompy rush and then transition into archers with the discounts and then go Blackwoods later. But alas, we are not seeing that. Anyway, Vitality's 4 vills ahead at the moment, and they're in a great spot to apply more pressure here. Art is here with his units, and of course, there's only so much that Doubt can even try and do to stop this. We'll end up losing a villager right there, and a lot of this strategery banks on Andy getting very far ahead with the power of those Blackwood archers. Fast castles? I mean, yeah, that's true. It's just a show match. $50 per win, so splitting that between 3 players is very little money. A, B teams? Yeah, I was just talking about that. I don't know. I think that the overall strongest team would be Viper, Tato, Vinchester, but they might swap Vinch for Jordan just because of the synergy, and then have Vinch play with somebody else. But again, it's really going to come down to what they feel like doing. Anyway, archers here from Lewis are going to help clean up the allies, but that is just going to let Leary walk in, and like there is literally nothing that is going well right now for Onimaru. That in the A team? That's another good point. I mean, Onimaru could field 2 teams of 4 and 1 team of 3, right? They have 11 players. So you could have Onimaru, former Gamer Legion / Secret / Tyrant, which is Viper, Doubt, Tato, and Jordan. And then you could have the Brazil one with Miguel, Dogao, and Fire. And then all the other players like Lewis and Andy and Vinchester. And then I'm forgetting somebody. Anyway, all this is going to get cleaned up, but like I said, the real issue is that I just don't think the Blackwoods are good enough here. Oh yeah, Kingstone, yeah. Probably be with the Misfits. Scouts running back in here for Hera. Now, Doubt's eco has been super heavily harassed. Hera's has literally been untouched, so he's cruising his way to the Castle Age. He really hasn't invested into too many scouts, didn't get any upgrades for them. Was able to play this much greedier style because, again, it's not like he had to win these early fights against somebody with equal numbers because it was basically a 2v1. Now, Hart is about to click up the Castle Age himself. Blackwood archers are still very low in number, only 24 villagers for freaking Andy. And Dowd is the opposite of untouched. Like, Dowd's getting wrecked at the moment. Here's blue clicking up. And like I said, this game is looking extremely one-sided. Fletching just now coming in. And like I said, now you have to like cross the map with your Blackwood archers, and I don't see how you can get any damage done here. Hera's going to be in Castle Age in just a second. He's on his double stables. And again, like, Hera is literally able to have a perfect game. No pressure, just able to go some scouts into a quick Castle Age time, into double stable knights, and just not a care in the world for him. It does lose a couple scouts right there. But yeah, of course, spending all this time cleaning up the garbage that's in your base means that it's less opportunity to go after your opponents, and you really do need to use that timing advantage. That said, Hera has mostly been playing with Heart, which is leaving Leary a little bit on an island. Hera's still being annoying here. It's another villager there. And soon we'll have everybody in the Castle Age here for Team Vitality. Honestly, credit here to Lewis, still keeping things fairly competitive with the timing despite having that big run-in by Leary. That's definitely not easy for him to do. And let's see. I don't think this is a good fight at all here for Onimaru, but what do I know? A fair bit, actually. Everything there going to get cleaned up. Now, again, kudos here to Onimaru for even being able to click up to Castle Age. Like, that's a tough one. Anyway, now the crossbow and bodkin are going to be in. The Blackwoods are going to be much less of a threat. They don't even have bodkin themselves, as, you know, the eco is kind of a disaster right now. All of the Onimaru players are way behind in economy to the Vitality players. And again, there's a reason we have a very ironclad meta on open maps. Hera's already just chilling on 3 TCs. You could say that, oh, this is kind of fast to go into 3 TCs in the current meta, but given the state of the game, no reason not to. Like, not only has Hera himself not really been challenged, but neither of the flanks have really been under that much pressure either, right? At the end? I don't know about that. But yeah, like, almost all of the fighting up until right now has been on the other side of the map, and you almost always want to be attacking and not defending on Team Game Arabia. Odd Croissant coming in. We already have Ballistics now for our blue player. He's getting a second TC. Leary's getting a second TC. Everybody's stuck on the 1 TC, and, I mean, like I said, it's basically all over but the crying. It would require, I don't even know. Like, how would you drag this to late game? 17 kills on that group of archers. Did hamster? That's also very true. Yeah, I mean, just so many idle villagers at any given time here for Team Onimaru. I mean, yeah, it makes sense that they try something, but unfortunately, I don't think there's much of a way, in 3v3s at least, to, like, gimmick the Arabia meta. Now, there was a time when we would have, like, Goths Burmese. I remember that with, like, Licks going crazy YOLO forward Goths and that buying time for Yo to go FC. I don't even know if that's something you can do anymore, given just how absurdly aggressive the meta is. To see me lose? Yeah. I mean, I do play. I play a fair amount of 1v1s. But yeah, usually just off stream. Yeah, the lowest score here for Vitality is a higher score than the highest score of Team Onimaru. Yeah, like I said, this game was basically... I don't even think it was especially winnable here. There could be a way that you could try and, you know, play anti-meta or something like that. in Arabia 3v3. I just don't know how you do it in the modern AoE 2. Not that I've really done a ton of experimenting, but it is something that I would be interested to see if we see it throughout the league. You don't make... Well, you don't actually make any skirms at all. It's literally just all archers. Like, it's rush up to feudal age as fast as possible. Which is why I think it's very interesting that we have people really describe the current meta as a very defensive one. Because I don't necessarily think they're wrong. I mean, because in some ways it is, but in some ways it's a hyper-aggressive meta because we see so often, you know, you're either going for a drush or like in, 19 pop uptime. Right? You think that if it were truly a defensive meta, people would be far more greedy. It's like rush up to feudal age and then play defensive, right? It's like the hurry up and wait meta, as I call it. Onimaru, these were probably the players who were available. But yeah, like I said, the theoretical A team of Onimaru is probably the only one that could even try and challenge Vitality on Arabia. And even then, I think they would not be favored. It makes no business sense. The business behind AoE esports teams don't make any sense and never have. I mean, I think that's true for all esports, but especially all AoE sports is teams have been either just very loose clans or pumped up by a wealthy patron who likes AoE 2. Literally every single team has been like that. Anyway, honestly, very one-sided, very predictable. Super, super clean game from Vitality. Onimaru A, it's not necessarily clear. I think that if you're looking for who are the 3 best players on Onimaru, it would be, for a team game setting, it would be Viper, Tato, and Vinchester. Yeah. But I don't know if that's how they would break things down. Oh, they can only have 2 teams. Oh, I thought they could have 3. Okay, then that, I think, is just going to be a matter of... It's a play all 5, so... Oh, whoops, sorry. Forgot to give Vitality their point. I mean, Lewis isn't a bad team game player, but he's much more of a 1v1 player. I think the way they still might break it down is you just go former Tyrant / Gamer Legion / Secret and do Doubt, Viper, Tato, Jordan as one team. And then you do Andy, Dogao, Kingstone, Vinchester, Miguel. Oh, and Lewis. I mean, I don't know how many players they could have on a team. No idea. To represent Oni, yeah. Like I said, my gut tells me that it would just be former Tyrant and then everyone else. Anyway, BF is going to be the next map, so there are definitely options when it comes to BF Pocket. Blank feels like Britain's Bohemians Turks. Ornlu Maru? I don't know about that. Is there a Civ you'd want to take over any of those 3? Ornlu Mari. No, there's no draft. It's just hidden pick, no repeat. But what do you pick for Pocket? 3v3 BF Pocket is a lot harder to figure out than 4v4, because 4v4, it's basically always, okay, do an infantry siege civ and a cavalry civ. But obviously, when you only get one pocket, that does make things a bit trickier. Mongols are an obvious choice for sure, because they can do both a high DPS unit with Mangudai and the siege stuff. Do a bit of all. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, Mongols are definitely quite... It could be a Mongol mirror. Yeah, Mongols can adapt to what you need. I'm trying to think if there's anything else you'd rather have. Could you justify a Spanish or Persians for, you know, good cavalry plus you have the trade bonuses? I feel like you just die the Hal siege, though. We'll see, though. Also, do you want to run Mongols on another map, right? Because you also have Nomad, Enemy Archipelago, and Arena left. Not that I think Mongols are a must-pick on any of those settings, so maybe it is just BF here. Like Lithuanians, it's certainly a possibility. Like I said, I still feel like two of the three Turks, Britons, and Bohemians. And then Mongols certainly work in 3v3. I mean, again, any of the good pocket BF civs are fine, right? Like, if you went Celts or Slavs or whatever, like, they're still going to be good, right? Don't get me wrong. It's just... Yeah, and also you do have to consider Arena as well, for sure. I think you'd much rather play Britons on Black Forest than on Arena, because Arena flank is... It's much harder to get boomed up into late game than it is on Black Forest. But Arena, you would also can do like the good clowning civs on flank as well. All right, they are both going Mongol pocket. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, okay. All right. So it's all of the civs I mentioned, but in a little bit of a different order. Much more mirrored here. Actually, is it an exact mirror? No, almost. So, Heart's going to be the Cyan Mongols on the flank. So Mongols, I mean, they're a very flexible civ, right? You can play them flank and they're good, and pocket and they're good. But yeah, he'll be in the Mongols on the flank to the north. Harrow will be the green Spanish in the pocket, and Leary will be the blue Britons on the south flank. Meanwhile, Doubt will be the red Britons on the south flank here for Onimaru, so now it's Doubt versus Leary in a Britons mirror. Lewis will be in the purple as the Bohemians to the north, so of course, just as good of a flank civ as you could ask for. And then Mongol pocket here for Andy. Notably, there is one pawn for each team, and it is by the Bohemians/Mongols players, although we could end up seeing another player take those pawns, depending on what they feel like. But Doubt seems to have lost his scout cavalry. In terms of choke points, while here, 3 very obvious choke points. And looks like Lewis's scout and Heart scout are all going down. Why does Heart not have Loom on the flank? I don't know if he knows this, but research in Loom makes your villagers harder to kill. The research Loom, click the town center, and click the research Loom button. I mean, Heart's going to lose 2 vills here. Okay, that was not the best micro from Andy, but whatever. Die so hard? Yeah, I think they might just be outmatched. I mean, on BF, who knows? It's not like the Vitality guys are great BF players anymore. Not like any of them play a lot of BF. Is this Rage? Again, I don't know what the difference is between Rage Forest and Black Forest. To me, it's just Black Forest. This is the map Black Forest. It says Black Forest right here.
Yay. Ready. Mandatum.
Alright, Lear still has 3 vills forward, still being a nuisance. Doubt could be sending some vills forward, so obviously they are flipping the flank and pocket here. Andy played flank last game, he's playing pocket this game. Nope. As guaranteed, even pawns. Any Black Forest script these days is going to have guaranteed even pawns. Like, that's exactly how literally any Black Forest script is going to go. Yeah, I mean, Black Forest is always played unexplored. Not Forest, not Rage. Again, I don't understand what the difference is between the two, but call me clueless. Anyway, more nonsense over here with the quick walling of the vills and all that stuff. It's only the community. Okay, I mean, that makes sense. That's up to 4? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm afraid I don't know. Anyway, Andy's going to be going for a fish boom here. Nobody's fish booming yet over here.
Mandatum.
It's green like what? Or very tiny. No, like this is a huge $75,000 tournament, right? So every single map script is a custom map script. The question is, what is it based off of? And I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, ripped it out right there. If you look at the Vill count right now, Vitality's 3 Vills ahead already. Yeah, Leary, 2 Vills ahead of Doubt at the moment. Hart did lose 2, which is unfortunate for him. But it looks like Lewis has had a lot of idle time, so that kind of makes up for it, unless Lewis has also lost Vills. Yeah, the Delta is still 2 villagers killed on each team, but Vitality's having a better job macroing behind it. Anyway, stock coming in here from both players. Lewis is still going to be quite annoying. Experience? Andy is an extremely experienced Black Forest player. I mean, Andy and Doubt are both extremely experienced Black Forest players. Triple board. Oh, does it? Again, I guess the Rage Forest community likes the extra gimmicks or something? I don't know.
Ready.
Anyway, Leary's still being annoying, and he's got these Vills behind enemy lines, and he can certainly make everybody else's life miserable. What's funny, though, is that Leary and Hart both grew up when they were much, much younger as Black Forest players. But the game has changed so much since then, and the trajectory of these two guys have also changed quite a bit. Did they just wall in a water buffalo? Anyway, my concern, though, with Mongol's flank is that, you know, Black Forest flank devolves into the Vill fighting stuff all the time. It's much more likely to have a big, messy Vill fight than it is to just both players wall off and then you go on your merry way up to the next stage. One might even say, go on your Mari way. Go on your Mari way. But yeah, 4 fishing ships to 1 right now. It is really the only advantage that you have right now for Onimaru, but it's certainly a notable one. Oh, no, this is definitely on purpose. Mongols can be played as a flank. What I was going for, though, is that I don't love Mongols on flank as much as I love them in pocket, purely because this happens, right? The Mongol player ends up being very far behind, because the flanks are always very far behind, or almost always very far behind these days on BF, and Mongols are just not a good low eco civ. Bohemians, Britons, both work much, much better on low eco. Bohemians do the monk stuff and like fast imp, and Britons can just play archers. Killed? Yeah, Doubts is gone. Oh, nope, never mind. He still has 3 Vills over here. It's hard to keep track of everything. Also, Lewis has a Vill over here. I don't know. Yeah, again, it's hard to say. But, like, do you play Spanish flank? I mean, Spanish are a great pocket civ, for sure. But I feel like I like Spanish more on 4v4, as the games are a little bit more likely to go longer. And Paladins feel a lot more useful when they can triple one side, as opposed to in the 3v3, where you're basically 2v1 or 2v2. Conks? Yeah, but you're really, 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 really bad in the early game, which is not what you really want. And that is something that's a plus for Mongols as well, right? The hunt helps keep the TC running. Okay, Doubt's losing that villager. Feudal Age is in. Hart just now clicking up. Hera will be the first player up to the Castle Age, and he will be going for Conquistadors. So, I mean, this is fine, right? But then you're going to have nobody booming, which is something that you certainly have to keep an eye out for. I mean, Hart is a long way off from doing anything. Andy's happily fish booming away here, and at the very least, Andy should be very well set up to go for the fully operational Mongol Death Ball. Go Mangudai? In this situation, yeah, probably. Sometimes you want to tech into Siege first, depending on what the situation calls for, or even Step Lancers. Again, it depends on the situation, but I think here it's going to be all about the power player as Andy, right? Him getting to those glorious yellow Elite Mangudai. And of course, Norther shows up for Black Forest. Typical. Down with the blacksmith behind enemy lines. Sure, why not? Fishing. Why isn't he making a warship? I guess he didn't have the gold, or I don't know. Okay, there's a fire ship queued up. Also, does Hera go with a defensive castle or an offensive castle? Because he still has all this garbage behind him. Well, yep, you sure are. Anyway, Leary's still forward here. He's got archers coming out, but he's almost up to Castle Age. Is trying to wall, but this is going to be very, very tricky. And indeed, Hera does go with the defensive castle. So, like I said, this is all 150% about just keeping Andy alive. It's team... Just keep everybody occupied until Andy kills everything with Mongols. Now at least... Well, it's not like an objectively worse situation. That said, I feel like they're going to have a very difficult time keeping Doubt and Lewis alive long enough for Andy to become fully operational. Because Mongols are still a really slow civ. They take longer than almost any other civ in the game to get fully up and running, even after a big boom. Most other civs even, like, go fast imp, or not fast imp, but, like, boom into Imperial Age, just to make that Imperial Age transition much faster. Basically, any Paladin civ, Conquistadors, you tend to be going here much earlier on. Or, I mean, yeah, it's Andy is the quarterback, right? He is the star player. He's the striker. He's the pitcher. Whichever sports position analogy you feel like. It's all up to him. And I have no idea what the sling rules are, to be honest. Alright, Doubt and Hart are going to be getting into Castle Age at very similar times. That said, you already have a Castle Age player breathing down your face here as Leary, whereas Lewis is just chilling. I actually have no idea what Lewis is doing. I mean, he's being a bit annoying over there, but other than that, I don't have any idea what he's doing. Has the Hecht returned? Oh, I have no idea. Anyway, Leary has a bunch of archers with Bodkin. Not something we see every day, but sure. Like a defensive castle. He doesn't have the stone for it yet. And he lost another Ville. Alright, castle coming in. Doubt needs to not die, but he also needs to help his ally not die. Now, Andy is, of course, getting some stone walls in as well. And nobody, but nobody, is going to be competing with the boom right now of our yellow player. So it's an interesting game straight, for sure. Obviously, much more interesting than game number 1. I still think that Vitality has the more straightforward path to victory. But there is a very, very real chance here for Onimaru. Anyway, nice snipe there on the market from Leary. Look at those red longbowmen. Perfect color. Ooh. Oh, Doubty, Doubty, Doubty. Yep, Mongols are certainly a civ that can do that. Guys, Doubt's on 27 Vills and dropping. But, like, what do you even do right now as Doubt? Again, on the one hand, you are successfully keeping your pocket safe. But, like, Doubt himself is going to have very little to offer. Lewis has gotten himself safe, and it's actually more important that Lewis is safe because that is enabling the fish boom here for Andy. No, I mean, Lewis is in a perfectly fine spot right now, considering he is a flank player. I mean, Hart is slightly ahead in villagers. He is on 3 TCs, but it's not like Hart's going to do anything useful anytime soon. Can you really out-repair 3 Hulks with 1 of it? Oh, no, sorry, it was 2 bills. Okay. But yeah, Lewis is still doing very well right there. Leary's going to be on 3 TCs. He's done his job right. He is so far ahead of his counterpart.
Ready.
Now, Hera, of course, did go for the early Conquistadors, but he hasn't invested too much into it. Only 4 conks, and now he's going to be on 4 TCs. To clear a sneak? I don't really think he had... No, the sneak isn't even cleared. Hera didn't really spend much time defending. He just kind of went for an immediate counterattack to help out Leary killed out.
Ready. Mandatum. Ready.
That is a little bit awkward to micro longbowmen versus archers because they have a much longer attack delay. Lumber camp there for Doubt. Anyway, how's this coming for you, Lewis? Give me those 45 walls, baby. Do it. Do it, Anakin. There we go. Lewis still very far away from castle. And again, now Hart's booming like a madman, honestly. Under all this pressure here, you know what? He's still keeping those TCs running. Is that a 5th T? Yeah, 5th TC for Hera. He's just chilling right now. Again, he's doing nothing except supporting with 4 Conquistadors. Yeah, and he's on his way up. Anyone? You mean anyone on Vitality? I mean, you could definitely say that Andy does outstrip his allies in economy, for sure. But as I've been saying, this is really just a test how much Andy can put on the carry pants. Everything that Doubt and Lewis have done is basically been to sacrifice themselves and their own relative strength in this game to make sure that Andy is unstoppable. But it's still a very slow transition to make, guys. Like, you're only just now getting your first castle as yellow. Although this will be very helpful in being a good castle spot here at the front. That's trying to add an eco. He's half the eco of Leary, mind you. Leary also has a castle, right here. Yeah. Stone shaft mining. You know you love to see stone shaft mining. Yeah, I mean, Spanish should have no answer to fully boomed Mongols. Mongols themselves don't have any answer to fully boomed Mongols.
Mandatum.
Britons can stall out the game, but I really like that you're trying to push from this angle because Mongols are a terrible defensive civ, whereas Britons are one of the very, very best. Much easier to push into Mongols than it is to push into Britons. Well, at least until Mongols are, like, fully 100% operational, but that's not going to be for a while yet. Walled from down. It's 1 layer of palisade walls. I think if you really wanted to, you could punch through. Anyway, castle number 2 coming in. And it will be for Trebuchet, but right now, it is Hart's job to stall like crazy. Because we're going to have all 3 players here for Vitality. Fully boomed. Neither Lewis nor Doubt are going to do anything useful there anytime soon. Can the conks range those vills? I don't think so.
Yay.
But yeah, like, you can't afford Mangudai upgrades. and also Siege Onager upgrades all at the same time. I mean, he's getting Onager right now, but that delays his Mangudai upgrade, so it's... Like I said, it's not an unlosable game for Vitality, but it's much more straightforward. Basically, stall out until everybody's fully boomed, and then just kill everybody. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a super free game for Andy, because his teammates are setting up to just throw everything into their... keeping their ally fully operational. Onager coming in. Got another castle on the way here. Yes, you have 45 wall. But yeah, really, it's just all about stall, stall, stall. Leary's on his way up to Imp. He's got castles in good spots. He's going to have one castle forward here, so he can continue to push. And if Leary... Like, Leary doesn't need to push right now, but if he can push and, like, knock Doubt out and force Andy to invest some resources at home, that would be a big win. And Britons are not a great pushing sim. And again, I love the fact that you're going after this side as opposed to this side, even though Doubt was in the much worse spot than Lewis was. Like I said, I'm a big, big fan. And Leary's actually going to be sending his archers here to the north, so it is going to be all hands on deck here for Vitality. All 3 players, well, 2 players armies, let's be honest. Hart doesn't have a whole lot. And the Mangus are in. Also getting coinage, of course, to sling your allies back into things. And looks like Hera will be going for Paladins. I mean, yeah, Hofnitsa are the reason you pick Bohemians at all. But your Civ is much less important here on flank, as it is just keeping your ally safe and getting your own eco down. Like, the game state would look exactly the same if Lewis was any other Civ, or if Doubt was any other Civ. It's just these Civs have the best long-term transition, but it's far from a guarantee that it will ever be relevant. Like, you know, for example, Heart Civ doesn't matter right now. Like, again... Hart would look exactly the same no matter what civ he is. Unless he was one that didn't have fortified wall, which would be kind of rip. Anyway, Elite Mangadoozies coming in. Yes, Doubt has the forward blacksmith here. Hart getting his first castle, but it's going to be almost impossible for him to ever get to a good number of Mangadai. That's going to be on a gajillion TCs. And credit here to Doubt. He's getting his own eco in. Lewis also getting his own eco in. It's still a very long time before you can really help out, but not a, like, an infinitely long time. You have still a very long while where you have the advantage as Team Vitality, but not an indefinite one. Doing to not be dead yet? Well, he's not getting pushed. Well, I guess, okay, here come 2 trebs from Larry. Like that. But yeah, he's on 5 TCs, and they'll eventually catch back up. But yeah, I do feel like Andy could use a much greater sense of urgency, because as soon as Doubt starts falling, like, Doubt can literally do nothing about this, right? And eventually Heart's gonna come online, too. I mean, yeah, his fish boom was denied, but, I mean, he's gonna get there. Paladin's gonna be here in a second for Hera. I mean, he's obviously also fully boomed. Has Hera been slinging Heart? Because he definitely should have been doing that if he has not done so already. Doubt... oh, it actually was slinging Leary, interestingly. Yeah, I feel like the window that Onimaru had to do something exciting has passed. Again, I feel like there just needed to be a lot more urgency of just trying to go kill people. Because you max out at 600 pop, of course. Oh no, Tout's gonna get his fletching denied! Oh, he's gonna get it! He's gonna get it! But, yeah, I mean, you get to 600 population a lot faster as Vitality than you do as Onimaru. Leary and Hera are here. I mean, I guess you have some drill siege, but I don't see how Doubt's not dead. But again, there just isn't really a lot of urgency here from Andy, and I think that's kind of the big problem. What on earth are these cap rams gonna do? Okay, now the Mangudai are showing up, but... Unless you can just clean up this army 1v2, which isn't impossible, I guess, but doesn't feel super likely. Boom. Nope. Alright, Lewis is gonna try and get to Halbhofnitsa. It's a long way off. That's slowly gonna get to some elbows. But yeah, that's losing even more ground. And then... I don't know. Hart is also going to get to his fully boomed state before Lewis is, so I don't know how Lewis is going to survive here very effectively either. So I kind of fail to see a win condition at this point for Team Onimaru. Like, look at this. They're doubling the army value. Pushing... Yeah, but the thing is, even when it was not fully boomed Hera and not fully boomed Hart, Andy didn't really push here. I mean, yeah, of course, Hart was doing everything he could to delay, but it felt like Andy needed to go a lot faster. And that's the big downside, of course, with the Mongols here, right? Is that they're very, very slow, and now it just seems like this is so over. Yeah, I don't really see this, guys. Okay, to be honest, guys, yeah, I mean, he really just did not run into the eco. Like, if you completely cripple Hart, maybe you have a chance, but again, Leary just with a few longbowmen to the north, and then supporting his ally, or pushing down on the other side of the south. Very well done. Low eco or lots of eco? Yeah, all of those Sibs are extremely good in early M. With Mongols? Maybe. If you fast Simp, then maybe he prevents the walling up in the first place. But yeah, but it's not really going to matter, right? Because this is happening, and this isn't getting stopped anytime soon. Leary's trebuchets aren't threatened at all. And anyway, thank you for the 44 months, Renru. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Oh yeah, and if you're not winning Black Forest here as Onimaru, what map are you going to win? Anyway, Heart's even cut through over here. Why not? Like, can this lineup take any games versus Vitality? If not winning Black Forest? That's not a rhetorical question. I don't know. Maybe you can win Arena? Anyway, Hofnitsa at the very least are very good at sniping castles. But that's dead. Like, he is dead. And then, how on earth are you holding this right now as Andy? Did Doubt even escape with Vils? Okay, he is escaping, but like, yeah, Doubt's deader than Zed, baby. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Zed's dead. And so you'd have to imagine that Hart can still contribute a lot more than Doubt can. Also, he's still over here with some Mangudai killing trade cards. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh, that happens. That happens sometimes. Just get a few Mangudai loose here in the trade. And also the fishing eco. And also Lewis's eco. Oh my god. Well, guys, we're looking at 600 pop versus 330. Yeah, Doubt's wiped off the map. Everybody has an insane KD right now on Vitality. And honestly, that's my worry for this tournament, is that the team game meta too mechanics oriented to allow the sorts of parody that we saw before, even though, you know, Tyrant slash Secret slash Gamer Legion were the best, and then Aftermath came in, but it still felt like there were a lot of very competitive teams, and you had a lot of very exciting games. I feel like, or at least I'm a little worried that that's not going to be the case this go around. But again, I don't know, and would of course love to be wrong.
Ready.
Old Swami? Yeah, I mean, like Swami, China, Vietnam. Will ever tell me I'm wrong? Yeah. Anyway, there's the GG.
See?
Nowadays, wonders, yeah, but I just, I don't know, guys. I don't see it. And it's, well, I mean, this isn't Onimaru's A team at all. I mean, it was another very one-sided game. Better. Well, the tippy-top players, so to say, their mechanical edge seems to have gotten even greater. And from a Kato is a little hearing heart. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, give me a second, guys. All right. Looks like Nomad is next, so... Legion, yeah. The world wasn't ready for, Clown Legion. All right. Oh yeah, no bad civs. Persians, Bengalis. Why so bad stream at YouTube? I don't know. Is there something wrong with the YouTube stream? Doesn't seem like there's any issues. Persians, Malay, Bengalis, Malians? For sure. Yeah, I think those would make the most sense. We are missing a player. Lewis, Hera, Leary, Dowd, Andy. Hart, we're missing. All right. Come on. Let's go. Boulder, why are you a Hera sub? That's my question. Gift subs, a likely excuse. Yeah, if I give, there you go. Alrighty. Here we are, guys. Game number 3. We have a big old lake here. So this is lake or pond, whatever you want to call it. It looks more like a lake to me. Plus water on all 4 sides here for Nomad.
Salam.
Cluck, cluck, cluck. Any other area to that Grubby's hosting? I have no idea.
Wait.
I mean, Viper was probably invited, but he didn't want to do it. Base spawn? Nothing too crazy. Art and Lewis are very close to each other. Anyway, now that we have everyone a bit more settled, Hera's going to be in the green as the Persians. Both teams do have a Persians. For Vitality, of course. His ally will be Hart in the blue as the Chinese, here to the south. And then, all by his lonesome, it will be Leary in the cyan as the 2P, here to the east. Meanwhile, Team Onimaru will have Lewis in the red as the Spanish to the south, Doubt in the yellow as the Persians to the sort of southeast-ish, and Andy in the purple as the Koreans to the northeast. The map, I mean, that's Nomad, right? It's just, it's Nomad. You just start in random locations. Larry got the new civs. Oh, that's right. Leary does have the new civs. So, to me, the civs for Onimaru all make sense, right? They are all very good, solid Nomad civs I don't think I need to explain too much about. Obviously same goes for Persians for Hera. Chinese and 2P are a bit odd to me. Now, again, these guys love their fast castle Blackwood archers, and yes, it is definitely good enough to be getting nerfed. Is that what you want on Nomad? I'm not sure. Possibly. Depends on the rush distance. And Chinese, I don't really get. I mean, Chinese used to be the best Nomad Civ back when they started with 3 extra villagers before their first TC came in, so you could literally build your TC with extra villagers, and then you have oftentimes the extra housing space, depending on what era you're playing in. That said, nowadays, what makes Chinese so great here? Rip there, Lewis. Yeah, I'm really not sure. Like, Chinese are fine, and Heart's having a good start here with 2 boars nice and quickly. But yeah, I'm not sure, honestly. No. I don't have either console, so not really something I'd look at. You click a link. Oh my goodness, and it's a download too. Age of Empires 2, really? That's crazy, man. I don't even know what Sea of Thieves is, or Grounded. Ninja something? Gaiden? And AOM, actually. New meta? Yeah. So basically, with you being able to garrison your fishing ships and fire arrows, it is almost impossible to apply super early pressure, so what everybody's doing these days is just clicking up a lot later with more fishing ships. Now, this will likely be getting changed in the next patch, as docks are going to be much worse at fighting back. EOTC Simulator? What? I don't play many different types of games, man. I never know what's going on in the gaming world. Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. Definitely never heard the term friend slop before. But I'm sure, who doesn't want to be a pirate? Virtually, not actually having to deal with the scurvy and the misery and all that. Anyway, Feudal Age is going to be in first year for Heart. Again, I'm kind of curious as to what his plan is. It's not going to be for a fast castle, unless I'm very mistaken. I mean, I guess he could just go water, but it's like, why be Chinese and not Malay, for instance? Like, what does being Chinese offer you? Multiplayer? Yeah, I mean, it's surprising. It's like, how do you even... Like, how do you get those people more engaged in AoE? Like, there's literally nobody who does console stuff that's very popular. Yeah, it's very surprising to me. Does Leary have stone somewhere? No, he doesn't actually. I guess you could go for Chompies. But again, people doing anything other than bum rush up to Blackwood Archers with 2P is very rare these days. Alright, there is the Market Blacksmith, so I guess Hart is going for a fast castle. Okay, just gonna go for a castle drop again. This isn't anything that is, like, exclusive to Chinese, but it's still gonna be good given the circumstances, so can't complain about that. Anyway, just send all the vills to stone. Hera's on the way to village. 51 vills. He has 22 fishing ships, guys. Holy cow. That is wild. By comparison, Doubt, who is also playing as Persians, has 17 fishing ships, but he is actually going for a navy at the moment, as Hera is not yet up. I kind of wish those were fire ships then. But I guess Doubt thought maybe Hera would have gotten to feudal age in just a moment. Anyway, Andy's up. Will he be going for war wagons? Probably. Now Hera's got his own hulks on the way. How many docks does he have? Like, has he even lost anything? Okay, yeah, Hera's has lost 3 fishing ships, but even with losing 3 fishing ships, he still has 8 more than his opponent. But, I mean, they can't all be working very efficiently. Hera's going to click up here in a moment. Doubt also going to click up in just a second. Doubt's up even faster. So maybe Hera just went a little too crazy on the fish boom. Very possible. Anyway, Andy is on his way up. He could try and make a Kobukson. Although you can't really go for turtle ships plus castle drop and war wagons and rocket carts all at once. That's obviously too much, man. And oh, no, Leary's going Blackwood Archers. Like, is Leary doing something other than Blackwood Archer rushing? Nope. He's all good. Anyway, everybody's on their way up. And Onimaru. What? Oh, my goodness, this is getting real weird here.
Monday?
Well, 37 to 39 villagers. You have a few more fishing ships here as red. No navy. Already have a Chukonu out. Not a unit we see too often. Blackwood Archers, do you need to kill a war wagon? More than one, probably? Would be good? I don't know for sure, honestly. Like, you'd think war wagons would crush Blackwood Archers, and, I mean, they do cost efficiently, I'm sure. But, you know, it's all about the speed which you get Blackwood Archers out these days, which is why they're getting nerfed eventually. Again, I have no confidence that that patch is actually happening in the near future. Anyway, got some chucks over here. They haven't killed anything yet, though. And what is Andy up to? Yeah, no turtle ships for him yet. He has 5 vills on stone. Leary's adding in the second TC. Oh, there's the castle. And it's Blackwooding time. Anyway, big old naval fight over here. Hera is on 22 to 17 fishing ships, so he still has a slight edge. Hulk numbers, though, Hera doesn't have the upgrade in yet, and Doubt has a huge naval lead. So honestly, Doubt with a much more streamlined build than Hera has, as far as I can tell at least. Doubt's even ahead of Hera in resources collected, so yeah, it looks like Hera just went a little too crazy with the fish booming. This is probably not something he does very often. But that lack of efficiency will punish you quite hard in a mirror matchup. So this is definitely by far the best it's looked for Onimaru thus far. And now, of course, Lewis is here with his conquistadors, and they are going to be nigh impossible to deal with as Hera. It actually looks insanely good for Oni. Anyway. Going full Hangukin. Gets a couple more kills there. Yeah, the Chukunu are still going to be very good and are probably efficient versus the Conquistadors in terms of cost, although not going to be population efficient. There does have a second TC. Doubt's adding his third, though. And I mean, Doubt's cruising right now. 20 War Hulks for him. It is just all Hulks all the time. Hera's got a mix of ships. But this seems kind of like one of those archers versus archers plus skirmishers situation. Or I guess in this case it would be like skirmisher versus skirmisher plus archer, where the person who has a higher percentage of skirmishers wins. I think that's the exact same thing here. That also has iron casting in as well, so those fire ships aren't going to stand a chance. Doc helps out, and this is looking very, very good for Onimaru.
Ori.
Seems very clear that Vitality do not feel super comfortable on 3v3 Nomad. More fishing ships going down as Doubt is doing even more to win water. Again, Doubt's having a stellar game here. Oh! Oh, and that's going to be a kill, I think. Oh, forcing the repair. One more shot for the road. Doesn't get anything. Hera on 52 vills to Doubt 67, though. One could even say Doubt's on 6-7 vills. Ballistics is going to be a big one for Leary, but I don't think Leary's done all that much yet. What's the overall KD for Leary? Jeez, Doubt 24 kills to 1 death. The 1 death was a Mangonel. Where's Leary? Ah, here he is. 4 kills to 33 deaths. Oh my goodness. I guess a lot of those have just been Blackwood archers. Still, it's 17 Blackwood archers to 7 war wagons. That doesn't actually feel like enough at all for Blackwood archers. Punks showing on up. They do have leather archer armor, but no bloodlines or husbandry. Right now, Lewis is just taking a massive amount of arrow fire to the towers and whatnot that have ballistics. Yeah, but a small refund. Anyway, War Wagons crush Chukonu. War Wagons should crush Blackwood archers. Andy should be doing totally fine here. He's on 67 vills. Eco lead is absolutely enormous right now here for Onimaru. Of course, all about the micro, but Chukonu do a ton of damage. And it is pretty refreshing seeing Chukonu, though. Seeing Chinese do something other than Lancers.
Shalom. Omode. Ori.
Anyway, another bit of a splat right there. Leary's trying to make this happen. It's not happening, and Leary just gonna immediately tap out. Do you think Leary consulted with his allies to see if they were ready to tap out, or Leary just typed GG as soon as that castle happened? Anyway, Onimaru, not dead. And honestly, like I said, I think that they just had the better approach. I think that Doubt's build was a lot better than Hera's. He was only up to castle age 50 seconds faster, but he had a significantly larger navy. But like I said, all 3 players here on Onimaru, I think, played better than all 3 players on Vitality, which, given the way the series has gone so far, is quite surprising. But it is good to see, because you don't want to see Vitality running away with it. GG for 5 minutes? Yeah, that's also pretty true. Nope. Good stuff there. We are... I mean, it was another one-sided game, but at least it's giving us a competitive series, right? They should, right? It's basically a unit that's designed to kill something like a Blackwood Archer. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Vitality would get obliterated in any deathmatch tournament, especially when you have Viper and Andy, who are both deathmatch champions. Like, it doesn't even matter who the third player is at that point. It just Viper and Andy would crush everybody. I mean, yeah, it's a Doubt Castle, but the game was over by then. Anyway, we'll have to see what is next. We have Enemy Archipelago, which is a map I am a big fan of, and Arena next, which is another map I'm a big fan of. Oh, no, never mind. That was a different game. Like, why are they on Deathmatch Nations Cup Team Islands? Oh, wait, maybe because that's the Deathmatch Nations Cup that's actually going on. Oh, yeah, I actually think there's a lot more variety in terms of good map archetypes that work in team games than in 1v1s. Again, I stand by the fact that hybrid maps are actually some of the best team game maps. Alright, enemy archipelagos next, so double Vikings, double Italians, double Dravidians? Could see a Koreans. Could see Armenians. Okay, Kawasan isn't a good example, but I still stand by our desert actually is a good enough map that it should just be its own archetype, like its own standard team game map. Plays it last night. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that was interesting. Anyway, I would be shocked if both teams did not have Vikings and Italians. Other than that, though, I feel like there's a little bit of flexibility between Bengalis, Dravidians, Armenians. A fleet of bombard cannons? Is that the correct terminology? Is a fleet of bombard cannons? Are you sure it's not a gaggle? Anyway, hopefully they'll get into this in just a moment. They're destroyers? That's true. Any second now. It's called a fluffle. That's good. Any moment, I'm sure. I am quite sure we will be getting into this at any moment. Any minute now. I'm sure we'll get into this next game at any given nanosecond. Game Doko? What? I mean, I just keep on thinking that the game's happening, and then the game's not happening, and then I'm confused. Not that I'm someone who's easily confused. Any second. Guys, do you think Leary needs to make noodles? There we go. Oh, interesting. So, just Vikings for both teams. We will have here in the Poiple, as the Vikings, it will be Freak and Andy. He'll be matched up against Hera. So it is a Vikings mirror here on the Eastern Island. Not Easter Island, the Eastern Island. Although, to be fair, Easter Island is the easternmost of the Polynesian islands. Ever consider that? Anyway, Leary here going to be the sign as the Koreans, and Lewis in the red as the Italians. And then Hart in the blue as the Dravidians, and Japanese here for Doubt. Koreans could be so annoying on this map. How good are turtle ships, though, when there's so much space they have to traverse? There are no neutral islands. No towers? Well, I mean, yeah, Koreans are just a great late-game water saver. They're a great pick for this map. They are a little on the slow side, though. That said, the rush distance isn't super short here. So we'll probably still see mostly fast castles for, well, the most part. But we'll have to see. But yeah, Vikings, absolutely no-brainer pick these days on water maps. I do think they're kind of overtuned. Well, fishing ships are on the way. ECL, yeah, I know. Back in the fun days of AoE Kappa. So, let's see the dock positionings here. Note that not only is it, you know, a true enemy archipelago, right, in that you have each player next to an opponent, or sharing an island with an opponent. Each player is also surrounded by enemies. Which is pretty fun. So it's not like you're in a situation where it's like, say, Cyan and Purple were on the same team, so they could just buddy up their docks over here and keep their fish safe. That's obviously not going to be an option. Anyway, first one up is going to be Lewis, so he is going to be taking an aggressive stance here. Let's just see how aggressive it's going to be. Like I said, the rush distance is pretty long, although the map is pretty open. So it'll be curious. Hart's also on his way up. So is Doubt, so both players on the southwestern island are up. Hera's on his way up, which will leave Andy. And, well, just now, Leary, the last ones to click up. So, is Leary going FC? I mean, Lewis has nothing on the land, so it will be for naval aggression, but is he going to use that naval aggression against Hart? Or is he going to go over to Leary? So many options. Oh, it's a super hard map to play, but also a very fun one to watch. Ah, okay, but there are players who are going for land. Hart's going to be going for Men-at-Arms, and so is Hera. So Dravidians and Vikings, of course, are both good Men-at-Arms civs. But this will be seen by their counterparts. So good scouting here on all sides. And how do you defend here as Andy? Andy still hasn't clicked up. Wait a minute. Holy cow, that's slow. How is he planning on not dying? Out sailing around over there with some fire galleys. Yeah, Hart is doing a pure water map. Lewis is going to go for Hart, though. This will leave Leary unchecked, though, and Leary's going to be able to go for a fast castle, I think. Like most of the time, I am totally wrong. Leary with just a late uptime doesn't have a ton of extra resources, although on a decent number of ships. And, well, researching Loom does make your villagers harder to kill. And of course, Andy is well aware of that important AoE truism. Anyway, tower coming in here as well. We got Arson coming in for blue, and I feel like everybody who's going Men-at-Arms, which I guess is just blue, the Vitality players, should be very well positioned to do a lot of damage. Yeah, Heresies at the top isn't open, but I think it's just such a long rush distance. It would be so easily telegraphed that it's not really an issue that it's open at the moment. Anyway, you will have to abandon this location, but those are Men-at-Arms, soon to be with Arson, attacking downhill against a Dark Age house, so yeah, that's not going to survive very long. This is all 9 Bellstart, by the way. Anyway, Doubt has his own archery range coming in. 4th Men-at-Arm about to be here for Hart. Remember, he does have Arson. Archer as well is going to be very tough to stop. While Lewis is also making some archers, but like I said, I like this approach here for Vitality. Andy's now having to garrison a lot of those fishing ships. Onimaru is ahead by 6 villagers in total, but this army and positional advantage is very real for Team Vitality. This is also one of the hardest maps to cast, by the way. Basically, I'm just constantly looking at the minimap. See if there's action happening. Leary's just going for some skirms here. Nobody is actually able to go for a fast castle. But if nobody's going for a fast castle, then the guys who are up faster to Feudal Age are going to be having a nice advantage. This is a play all 5. So we are going to be going to Arena for the last game no matter what. Doubt just trying to hang in there. And he still has 13 fishing ships, by the way, which is the most in the game, unless I'm quite mistaken, which I am not. Oh, Hera's actually lost all of his. Oh. Wait. Hera only made 2 fishing ships? I guess so. Jump the tower. Yeah, I'm like a little surprised he didn't do that. One of those situations where he would have had some guaranteed losses, but he probably could have done that. Andy! Andy, no. Well, that stings. Hulks are here as well from Hera. Bit of a scuffle over here, but Hart's doing quite well on his side. While it seems like a bit of a détente between Lewis and Leary, the L players. Still, Larry's applying pressure on the water. Lewis is also applying pressure on the water. A bit of a mix of ships here. Anyway, Lewis will win there pretty easily, and he will also be the first player up to Castle Age, so well done here for Lewis. Again, this is not a map any of these guys have played a ton, so it really is going to come down to adaptation and heads-up decision-making. Unironically carrying. Well, he's not taking any damage on his side, and he's doing some damage to Hart. That said, Leary is also on his way up to Castle Age, and he's with a better eco than his opponent. And Leary's also able to do a lot here, so I actually think Leary, if anyone, is doing the carrying. I mean, again, he's going to hit Castle Age, and then Koreans are going to be really scary. And he's on his way up too. How close is Hera? Remember, it is Viking Mirror over here. Hera's also going to be on his way up. Is actually behind in eco, because, I mean, a lot of them, they've been idled a lot, but Andy still has 12 fishing ships. Interesting game, though, for sure. Map is also very big as well, so all of the islands have tons of space. Of course, this map gets the most fun when you have one island that's won by one side, one island that's won by another side, then like another's like a battleground that you also have some players trying to expand to. And also, what is up with these mangrove trees? Mangroves don't grow on the land. I'm pretty sure they exclusively grow in salt water. Or brackish water. Anyway, Leary's here. He's got his fire ships. They're going to do a ton of damage to the dock, of course. And those fishing ships are looking like they're going to have a really bad day. Yeah, Leary here on the water doing a ton. What's Andy able to do? Hera's coming in with another tower. That's not going to be up soon. Hart's on his way up, so... Oh, no, never mind. That almost has the resources to click up, but he is going to be the slowest up. Anyway, what's Lewis been able to do with his Castle Age? Yellow still has 5 fishing ships working. Hart's trying to expand his eco, although that's not really going to work. If you look at the eco kills on each side, you're like, what, 10 to 5 kills in favor of Vitality. You also doubt who's going to be the last one up to Castle Age. No idea what that's all about. There are the resources. There's going to add a second TC. Forward Siege Workshop for Lewis. And it still feels like Vitality's navigating all this a lot better. Well, I mean, noticeably better. Oh, jeez. Andy would be in such a better spot if he didn't let all those archers in. Not the deer! Alright, down over here to try and help out his ally. Now, Leary does not have medium warships. And, okay, he's got a Kobukson on the way. But that's obviously not out yet. And Onimaru is still doing a good job. Even if they can't win the fights, they're doing a good job of trying to keep their opponent's fishing ship numbers down. 8-2-0-9-3-5. So definitely more Fisky Mothers overall for Onimaru, but they are behind in bills. Also, messy situation, but I guess Lewis is cleaning it up because his Knights actually do have +1/+1. Lewis is indeed going Knights. In case I haven't mentioned it, guys, and in case it's not super obvious, this is a really hard map to cast. Unfortunately, it's basically 3 1v1s simultaneously, and I only have 2 eyeballs. And only 1 screen that actually has the game open. Although, wouldn't it be insane if I could have 2 instances of AoE running on each monitor, and I would, like, have different areas of the map that I could look on all at once, like it was an actual broadcast studio? Hold on, my mom's calling me. I'm back. Yeah, they had multiple computers spectating the game at Red Bull. Or was it one spectator, but you looked at the player's POV? Maybe that was it. Anyway, yeah, sorry, my dad's in the hospital for those who don't know, so my mom was calling and making sure I got the mail because my dad's usually the one who gets the mail and he hasn't been getting the mail. Up, I splat there. Oh my goodness, when during a 1-minute call with my mom, it looks like Onimaru just died a very sad death. Oh my goodness, Andy's lost 20 eco units. South lost 9. Lewis is the only one with the positive kills there. Everybody has a positive eco KD on Vitality. Serious? It actually was quite serious. He had MRSA in his bloodstream. Which, again, I didn't even know was a thing. On his way? Yeah, sure looks like it. Third TC coming in here from Hera. And unfortunately, it seems like we're in one of those situations where instead of it's like different islands are being won by different players, it's the same team is winning every single island. Oh, jeez. Also, apparently, this was just discovered today. My dad has an abscess in his back that was, I think, from the MRSA before. And it's like working his way towards his spine, which would be potentially lethal, I think. So I think they're draining that to, you know, prevent that? I don't know. It's been very stressful around here recently. Also, one of the reasons I haven't streamed all that much. But I'm gonna go visit him after this game, or after the series. Nothing is like so immediate that I need to see him right now. All right. Imp on the way here for Lewis. Again, he's the only person who isn't, like, dead. Or not. Okay, so Andy's dead. The Doubt's irrevocably far behind, and Lewis is just a little behind. I mean, 64 to 60 Vil, so I guess the Vil count is pretty close, but Dad has no map control, and he just is going to need to do a lot better in these Mangonel trades. Yeah, I mean, Hera's cruising, man. Yeah, thanks, guys. There you go, 1v1s. Oh, it's the map that happens to be that. Besides, I love me some Enemy Archipelago, even if this game isn't especially close. I mean, Lewis is getting to Imp, but, like, what can he do in Imperial Ages? We already have Andy with, transporting over. Oh, he's trying to Dunkirk these Vils, guys. And, oh, actually really well done here from Dowd. This is one way if you can't win the Mangonel War to surprise your opponent with some knights. That also works. And Lewis is about to be an imp. I don't think Leary can deny this castle, although he's certainly going to try. I mean, there is opportunity here. Although that is downhill, I think. Oh, the positioning might be a little off from Lewis. And remember, Lewis is also, I mean, having to do a lot of multitasking, so... Oh, my goodness. Okay, yeah, both sides disengaging. Anyway, Leary has to abandon that castle, and this is at the very least going to give Andy some room, by the way, to boom back up. 70 total villager lead right now, though. That only has 3 fishing ships left. Andy still actually has something of a fishing eco over here, and I don't think Hera really has done enough to, like, completely drive his opponent into the ocean, at least in terms of those docks, which Hera... And he knows about one of them. But yeah, this is still giving Andy some resources. That said, Hera's also up. Leary's going to be up pretty soon. And you don't really have an army to push with as our red player. Also, this is happening. Oh, my goodness. Art! Art, don't throw, man! He's coming back in with some reinforcements, and, I mean, the issue for him right now is how does he get those mangoes uphill? Because, honestly, that was fairly predictable, and if Doubt can... Actually, no, all he needs is a 2-for-1. Doubt needs actually a 2-for-0. And that might still just be enough anyway. Another mangonels coming in here from Doubt. This castle obviously cannot go up if you are Doubt. Oh my goodness, and Hart gets the kill right there. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, it's not like Lewis is actually beating Leary right now either. Like, Leary is still on a much better economy. Go get him! Anyway, VN Dark Knight, thank you so much for the 2 months. Really appreciate it, and welcome back to the Wolf Pack. Oh, not the turtles! Not the turtles! Rip the turtles. Anyways, Doubt almost up. Not super close. Hart's gonna click up much faster. How ahead is Hart ahead of Doubt economically? Yeah, Dart. Doubt is 4,000 resources behind Hart. Everybody on Team Vitality has a better eco than everybody on Onimaru. You need to at least be, I think, decisively winning one of your 1v1s to have a chance. And again, I'm still not even convinced Leary loses this. Dart versus Haute. Well, we know that Doubt is of haute couture. We know Doubt's a real fashion model. So I think that checks out. Anyway, Hart's almost up as well. Hera's able to go for some longboats. He'll be able to bombard the shoreline, no problem. So, like, Doubt's going to be driven into the sea. This is also a thing that's happening. I don't know if Hera realizes, though, that the galleons are much better at sniping docks. Vital? Well, I mean, I would argue that both economies are equally vital. It's just a matter of it's better for vitality. What? How did Leary miss? Lewis can't fight both land and water here. Anyway, Kondo. Not even sure how Leary got over here. It doesn't really matter, though. Leary's also going to push this back, almost certainly. It just seems like none of these guys are really able to win in a 1v1 against any of the Vitality guys. At least not, you know, on this map in these settings. Couple hand cannoneers. Not actually sure why he's making hand cannoneers against condos. Seems like one of the worst units you could make, actually. What do I know? I'm not Leary. And it shouldn't matter anyway, because he's so far ahead. Strats? Yeah, but it's a lot easier if you're just the better team and you just win all of your 1v1 straight up. But Lewis has actually an incredible record against Hart in the 1v1. Oh, you mean like if they're on the same island? Oh, I mean, yeah, certainly. Anyway, Vitality will be winning the show match at the end of the day, although, again, it's a play all 5, and there's still arena to go. You're done? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, for arena, remaining civs here. I kind of like Hindustanis or Poles as pocket civs. You could go Burgundians as well, and they'd be good. Something that can really quickly pressure in early Imperial Age. I like one of those civs. Vitality did also Bohemian, so they'd make a great flank civ. Byzantines, Bengalis, Burmese. Other civs starting with B. No, not really. Yeah, generally speaking, you want a good Tower Rush or a good Monk Civ or a good, like Fast Castle Unique Unit Civ on flank. And then in pocket, you want something that booms very well into a lot of map control. Cumans could work. Gurjaras also can work. If you want to go for early Castle Age push with those Gurjara Siege Elephants and, like, monks and stuff from the flank, it totally could work. It's an option, though. But yeah, Cumans are another good civ for sure. But yeah, there are definitely options here. It flies. I mean, of all these maps, Arena might actually have the most viable civ options. Anyway, I need to take a quick break, guys. I'll be right back. So yeah, I do think there's a decent chance we see 6 unique civs here. I could also see both teams taking Bengalis. If there is going to be a mirrored civ, I think it'll be Bengalis. I think we could see all otherwise unique civs. It's possible. Maybe. I'm sure we'll get into this in any minute. I'm sure at any moment we'll get into the last game. Only Doubt has yet to pick a color. I hear cumin sounds. Alrighty. Actually, they both went humans. Interesting. I mean, I like humans as a pocket. I'm just surprised they both went for it. And then, other than that, it's all unique civs. Cool, cool. So, up 3-1. Obviously, they will have won this little show match, but we still have to play this last game. We'll have Heart in the side as the Teutons on the flank. Hera as the green humans in the pocket. And Lyria as the blue Bohemians on the right flank. Teutons work in both flank and pocket on Arena. They're very good in both settings. Lewis will be the red Portuguese on the west flank. Andy will be the yellow humans in the pocket. And Doubt will be the blue Turks on the east flank. Yeah, I don't think humans are even the best pocket civ, although it's certainly up there for a 3v3 arena situation, but would you rather have humans or Burgundians? I think I would rather have humans. Would you rather have humans or Poles? I feel like you could go either way. Would you rather have humans or Khmer? I feel like you could go either way. Look at this funnel, guys. What a funnel. Durjaras as well. I feel like you just have to be a bit more strategic in how you play them, but they're still, I think, in terms of strength, top tier. But like I said, it's not like there's... Like, humans are definitely an S-tier arena pocket. I just don't think they are necessarily the S-tier arena pocket. And all the flank civs are great as well. So, Bohemians versus Turks. I mean, yeah, it's Battle of the Gunpowder Civs. Both civs are extremely good at what they do. Don't think we can give a real advantage to one or the other. And then Portuguese versus Teutons. I I still think I like Portuguese overall, even though Teutons have a way better team bonus. What was that? Condor. But I think that Teutons would still struggle against a fast imp from Portuguese. Like, even if you have the advantage in a Monk War, the fact is that you can get to imp really fast as Portuguese and then add the Faderias as well, so you can much better sustain a low eco game. Oh yeah, Hart also could have gone for a Tower Rush. That's also certainly an option, although I don't think he's actually doing that in this game. John Slow, thanks for the raid, man. We are on Arena, although it is Arena team game. Notably, Andy is clicking up one villager later than Hera, but they're going to go for the human boom, all that good stuff. And we'll have to see. Down? What is this farm placement? It's like... I mean, I know it doesn't really matter anymore because villagers now gather in the middle of the farm instead of just the left corner. But it's, I don't know. It looks a little weird to me. A surprise from... no, it's modern wall HP. A surprise? I just was talking about that for like 3 minutes straight, Flogi. I think that Cubans are an S-tier arena pocket, but I don't think they're like the only S-tier arena pocket. I think Burgundians, Khmer, Gurjaras, Hindustanis, sometimes for different reasons, or in some cases for different reasons. All very, very good. Or at least, you know, around as good. Poles as well. Wait, is Doubt trying to lure in the chickens of his ally? What the heck, man? See, Leary knows what he's doing. Leary's not bothering at all with this funneling nonsense. Just going ahead, taking the chickens with 3 vills. Anyway, Hera building the TC with 6 vills is inefficient. It should be 8. But he clicked up a bit faster anyway. But honestly, Andy's build seems like it's a little bit better. Post-imp game? Yeah, the games have all been very one-sided. And Dow going with a very fast uptime. Holy cow. At least as far as Turks goes. Yeah, 25 pop with Turks. He's not on stone whatsoever. Is he just going to play light cav? Not like you can't do that. Wait, no one's gathering stone. Okay, yeah, I mean, Hart's doing what you think he's going to be doing. Yeah, he's clowning. 24 plus 2 uptime. Lewis is going to need to be super careful. Look at this. So many farms already. Okay, now he's going on to stone. So in theory, defensive castle plus fast imp is going to be, I think, very good against a monk rush. Although this would have been awful against a tower rush opening because of that forward stone. But I guess Hart hasn't scouted it? Oh, he didn't scout it. Yeah. I mean, if you see that stone right there, I think you just go for a tower rush every single time. Anyway, Boom is looking basically identical between Andy and Hera. Oh my goodness, guys, Andy's 8 resources ahead. Oh no, Hera's ahead. Oh, Andy was 1 resource ahead right there. Obviously, both pockets. Turns out both, you know, any given 2K7 player plus can execute a perfect human boom. Hera with 22 on food, Andy with 19 on food, Hera with 5 on the fruit bushes, Andy just with a couple fewer villagers. Anyway, oh, we're going to pocket. Okay, I like this. Go for the Cumans player. What are they going to do? Siege Workshop coming in here from Hart. Should be a monastery. There it is. And I don't think Scotty knows. Oh, Andy sees it. Yeah, Keeman's gonna get the kill there. Double back to get one more hit on. Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's Humans v. Humans. What am I talking about? Theory's just booming. Doubt's just booming. Really weird that Turks, Bohemians, and both are just booming. And Lewis is booming too? What? Guys, I mean, Leary has the luxury of booming, right? Because the other flank is applying pressure here, and Doubt's also booming. Circumnavigation's great on a water map. It's not really all that important on a land map. The most important aspect is the faster ship production. The extra, seeing the entire map is just a little boost. Yeah, Andy's like absolutely gonna die a horrible death right now. Guys, I seriously don't understand this at all. I mean, Andy does click up. I mean, he's trying, right? Hera has wheelbarrow as well. He's got stables coming in. This could be for any of the three of the 4 stable units. Campbells don't make sense. You could justify any of the other 3 stable units, though. Knights, Step Lancers, and Light Cav. Yeah, again, guys, I don't understand this play here from Onimaru, and that there just isn't a way to stop this, right? If you're playing a 1v1 humans versus Teutons, this is already very scary to deal with. But at least you are already prepping in case the opponent's going for, a ton of fast castle pressure. In a team game setting where you're just trying to be as economically efficient as possible, it just feels like you have no chance. Yeah, that's true. Just send the scouts now. Trapping the ram right there, though. I think he can maybe try and wait for Light Cav. Yeah, it's true the Spearmen are going to come in, though. +1 melee armor as well. Leary adds a 4th TC. Hera adds a 3rd TC. He is on his double stable, so it looks like Hera is opting for Knights. Again, it feels like you could justify many different units here. Like, I don't know, why would you play Portuguese as a high eco civ? Alright, Light Cav coming in. How many spearmen you got? You got 3 spearmen and counting. Oh, the Vills are abandoning the location as Andy's out of wood. Oh, no. Anyway, I don't see how Hart loses this push. It's not enough Light Cav. And now you're lacking food income. Yeah, I just don't think this is very good for Oni. Pikeman going to come in. That's going to make this even more one-sided. That doesn't help you at all. I mean, that's making the castle. Sure. Why not? It doesn't really feel like it matters, though, because you're going to be playing a 2v3 in just a second. I mean, I guess you could say that Lewis is going to kill Art here. But then you're in a situation where you have a huge mobility disadvantage. Anyway, Hera's here too. Add insult to injury. Yeah, neither Doubt nor Lewis are doing anything. I mean, yes, this castle's going to come in, but Andy has died significantly sooner. And Hera doesn't have to invest all that much into military. Honestly, he probably over-invested into upgrades that he doesn't need at the moment. As it stands, though, Hera's eco is still excellent. He's on 76 villagers. It's going to be too slow. It sure is. I mean, it's not like Red's an Imperial Age. He's going to click up in a second, but he's not there right now. Doubt clicks up first. How have Doubt and Leary been booming? Doubt's boom has actually been a little bit better than Leary, so well done there for the Doubtster. Again, all of this feels like such a moot point. And you guys know how much I love the word moot. Like I said, I just don't think that Portuguese are the high eco civ you want here. It's really weird, because Portuguese are good on 140 villagers, and Portuguese are good on 50 villagers. They're really not good at, like, these 70 to 90 villagers uptimes that we see, like, most often these days on most maps. It's really weird. It's like, you don't really have all that much that's super good to do in this specific situation. Or at least, like, nothing that's exceptional. Anyway, Double Siege Workshop coming in. Looks like Doubt is not going Cav Archers. He will instead be focusing on the Jan Husasaries. And he's also got a TC over there. Of course, good monks here from Leary. Leary's 2 minutes off. Oh, boy. And I like that Heart's not giving up on killing Andy, right? The whole point of this was to kill Andy, so don't let him survive even a little bit. I mean, yeah, he has a TC over here, but it's 11 pop. Wait. Oh, those were converted organ guns. I'm like, I thought those were Hearts villagers for a second rushing the organ guns. I'm like, no, don't do that. Anyway, Hera's on his way up to the Imperial Age. He just needs to go for Paladins here. Gonna crush the organ guns anyway. In a second. In theory, Hera can bail him out before he's completely dead. You still have a little bit more space to expand to back here. And your Teutons. Double castles is obviously good here for Lewis, but you're still fairly close to Imperia's Hera, and he's gonna have a ton of cap units. Also, Andy's, like, literally dead right now, whereas Heart is only approaching death. Couple Siege Workshops here for Hera. That said, I think Doubt might just be winning a 1v1 against Leary here. Hofnitz's coming in, but it's not in yet, and he's got no real army, does Blue. So this isn't anything fancy. Like, both Doubt and Leary went for the same initial strategy, which was a boom. Leary did end up getting more villagers overall via a 4th TC, but he's not scaling his army up very quickly at all, and Orc Bombard Cannons are one of the very few units in AoE 2 that can, not, like, counter Hofnitsa, but trade evenly with them. And in this case, trade evenly is all you really need to do because Doubt has such a huge lead regardless. 80 villager lead, by the way, right now here for Team not Onimaru, Vitality. Also, the one forward bill is going to be occupying the base here of Andy, who is on 17 pop. Again, Hearts, like, will in theory die, but Hera's going to have Cavalier, he's going to have Captram soon. You don't really have a ton here to stop this. I like the running away with those bills as well. Be adding a TC over there. Castle will die to the Hofnitsa, though. And this is why you have a pocket player, guys. And having a pocket player is very, very, very good. Let's Hera have the pocket. Would you rather Heart be pocket, I guess? I mean, you definitely want Leary on flank. Oh no, I kind of like this setup. Anyway, with the Cavalier coming in especially, now you're super dead. Oh my goodness, Hofnitz are fun and balanced.
Evet.
Ano.
Emret.
Yeah, now Illyria's gonna hold no problem. Yeah, I mean, this is just the advantage you have with having your pocket alive, right? You have the mobility, you can force engagement. I mean, yeah, but it's not like you can prevent your opponent from picking the position they want. Anyway, I didn't like anything about this approach here at all from Team Onimaru, and they are paying the consequences. Not even the Flamingo cares. Anyway, that should be it. Honestly, guys, this has me a little bit worried. I mean, I know it's just a show match, but other than the one game that it looked like Vitality had no idea what they were doing, none of these games were even remotely close. No, don't worry. Viper's viewers told me that having Bohemians as a strong civ on closed maps and weak on open maps makes things interesting. That if, you know, we can't have all the civs just do the exact same thing, because then it would be boring. I'm a little surprised Dutton just opened CA in the first place. It just feels so much better than Janissaries these days. How would I nerf Bohemians? Bohemians are a very difficult civ to balance. Just because they're so extreme. Like, you have the idea that civs like Turks and Teutons were closed map specialists. But they still had options on open maps. Teuton still had a great eco, and, you know, you still had decent cavalry. You could try and play that map control style. And Turks, of course, also have very good cavalry. Bohemians, because the Hofnitze is just sort of the end-all, be-all unit, it just sort of, it creates a completely oppressive matchups. Bohemians probably have the most lopsided matchup spread of any of the closed map powerhouse civs across the other 52 civs, right? Like, the average Bohemian matchup is just ridiculously Bohemian favored. Obviously, it's super, super over. Yeah, Hofnitz is easier to get to than us, so... I mean, I do think that one thing you could do is remove the movement speed from Wagenborg tactics. For Hofnitze. Just have it only apply to hand cannoneers and Hussite wagons. And I guess cannon galleons if you're really feeling spicy. But again, there does need to be some sort of corresponding buff to open maps. Because right now it's just too extreme, where Bohemians are too bad on open maps and too good on closed maps. Whereas, yes, you can have civilizations that have specialties, it just feels a little too extreme. It's, yeah, I mean, it's a little rough. Anyway, though, shout out to Danielle, of course, for hosting this tournament. I am still really looking forward to the tournament as a whole. But, yeah, obviously that show match was pretty one-sided. Siege Engineers, that would make all of their other Siege dreadful. Like, remove Siege Engineers, but give them Siege Ram as well. Maybe that'd be an option. Because, again, they are very bad on open maps, so although I do think you need to nerf them on closed maps, you need to give them at least a little bit on open maps. But guys, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow, very early in the morning, at least for me, 13 GMT, I think, will be the next and final Warlords qualifier. So definitely stay tuned for that. See you guys next time.